Hey guys, Dr. John here. Look, I want to give you 3 quick tests that you can do at home by yourself to identify whether or not any pain or discomfort that you may be having in your lower back is being caused by issues in your lumbar spine. So the disc, maybe the facet joints, any of these structures in our lower back, if any of these tests are positive, then it's going to give us at least a good indication that, hey, your lower back or your lumbar spine is involved, or it's at least a contributor to any kind of pain or discomfort that you may be having. If you have any questions about any of these as you go through them, let us know. These are not, 100% accurate, but they'll at least get us in the right direction. And if they are positive, then our suggestion is, hey, we got to do something to resolve that underlying structural imbalance. Chiropractic is fantastic for that. That is our sole objective, our 100% focus, and we'd love to help you with that. Okay, so number 1 is going to be called the Valsalva's maneuver. Basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to build pressure in our abdominal cavity, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take an inhale and we're going to blow without exhaling. We're going to build pressure, like if you're holding your nose and holding your mouth closed. We're going to build pressure in our abdominal cavity, in our stomach, as if we are trying to blow up a balloon. Maybe that's very difficult to blow up. Just imagine as we take a deep breath in and we're trying to blow out, but we close our nose, we close our mouth. That pressure builds in our abdominal cavity, in our stomach, and it puts pressure on all the structures there in the midsection of our body. If that creates pain, in your lower back, or maybe it shoots down your legs or anything like that, that is an indication that, hey, there may be a disc herniation of some kind. There's something there that's putting tension and compression into the nervous system in and around your lower back, in your lumbar spine, and it's that when that pressure builds, it puts more pressure on it, and that's creating the pain. Another thing to maybe think about is if you are sneezing, right? If you've had a sneeze recently and when you felt it coming on, you felt, oh no, this is going to be painful. That's another good sign. When we sneeze, we build a lot of pressure there in our midsection as well. So those are just some simple things that you can do to identify if that pressure is building and it causes pain. There may be an issue there in your disc. So again, we're going to breathe in, hold it, and then just blow out. Pressure down as if you wanted to blow out. Make it build in your abdominal cavity. Don't let the air out. Just let it build in there, and if that creates pain and discomfort, that's a good indication that, hey, there may be a disc problem. Okay, guys, here's the next one. What we're going to do is we're going to sit on a flat surface. I have one of my tables here. It could be, maybe like your bed. You could do that if your bed's really firm. If it's really plush and soft and you just sink into it, maybe not the best choice. Something firmer would be better, okay? But we're gonna sit here. I don't want my legs hanging all the way off like this. I want to be like kind of where the table is, right here at my knees, okay? And my lower leg is hanging off, okay? So what we're gonna do is, this is called the slump test. And what we're going to do is we're going to slouch and slump forward, okay? We can put our hands behind our back like this. And basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to stretch out all the tissue here in our nervous system, right? In our spinal cord. We're trying to stretch all that out and make it really tight. And if that creates pain, then we know that there may be something that's preventing it from moving well inside of our spine. There may be some abnormal compression or adhesions or restrictions in our spine onto our nervous system. And when we're unable to stretch it and contract it like that, it should be able to do that. If we're unable to do that, then there's an issue there that we need to resolve, and that's coming typically from your low back. All right, so what we're gonna do is we can put our hands behind our back like this, and we're just going to slouch. Right, so we're not going to sit up straight. We're just going to slouch our whole entire spine, our head, right? Just let it all slouch forward. If that creates a lot of pain, just that in and of itself, then stop, right? Just stop. Then we know that it's coming from your low back. The tension in your nervous system, in your spinal cord, is creating pain already. If we want to take it one step further, if that doesn't cause any pain and you want to keep going, and add more tension, then you can slouch forward, and then what we'll do is we'll straighten the leg, and then we'll dorsiflex the foot. So we'll put the toes closer to our shin, right? So we'll stretch out our calf, right? If that creates pain, that's really putting a lot of tension on it. If that creates pain, that's a positive test, likely coming from our low back. You could do the same thing with the other leg. Right? Sometimes one leg will create the pain more than the other, right? And that can just give indication of what side of your spine are there more tension right? Is there more tension? What side? So that's a good test as well. You can give that a try. Okay guys, here's the last one. It's called the KIMS test. This one typically is done with someone with you, like a practitioner helping move you through the motions. But I still think it can be done by yourself. It may not be as good as if you had someone helping you, but I still think it can give us some good indication. So what we want to do is, this is really going to test out the facet joints in our lumbar spine. If this creates pain when we start to move in the directions that I'm going to teach you, it's a good indication that, hey, there's joint compression, there's joint tension, there's joint irritation, inflammation, whatever, that is causing the pain. So what we're going to do is, we're going to stand, I'm going to show you from this side, from standing at our side, but we want to maybe just stabilize your pelvis, your hips like this with your hand. And what we want to do kind of two things. We want to turn a little bit and extend, right? We want to turn and extend, and you can imagine your low back in there, it's turning as much as it can. It doesn't have a lot of rotation, but we're turning and then we're extending. So those joints are really, really extending back like that. And if that creates a lot of irritation, then hey, then those joints may be injured or damaged in some way. So we can secure and hold ourselves, support our hips like this, because we don't want those to really move much. We want to really target the lower back only. Right? It's impossible to do it only, but that's what we're going to try and do. So we're going to turn this way and then just really lean back like that as much as you can. And I'm putting a lot of tension there in those joints in my lower back. If that causes a lot of pain, then we know that, hey, there may be some issues in those joints. Right? Same thing with this side. I'm going to turn as much as I can and just really lean back, really lean back. I'm trying to keep my pelvis still, right? And just really lean back into those joints in my lower back. You know, if there's a real big issue, you may feel so vulnerable you don't even want to go back, right? It may just be so tender that you don't even feel like you can even start to lean back because you're so nervous about it. So good sign that, hey, if that really lights you up, if that really creates a lot of pain, then hey, there's an issue in the joints in your lumbar spine.